We sometimes call a terrible deed inhuman. We acknowledge that some actions violate what it means to be truly human. A human act is one that we freely and deliberately choose to do, an act that reflects our dignity and shapes our moral character. In this Catechism Moment, we are looking at the morality of our human actions and of our passions. And this is found in paragraphs 1749 to 1782 of the Catechism. The Catechism teaches that when we use our intellect and will, we become the fathers of our actions, responsible for choosing good or evil. In contrast, things like our heartbeat, our reflexes, sudden fear, are not really moral acts. They're not things that we choose. To understand the moral life, we must recognize what makes an action truly human and consider whether it's morally good or evil. In our modern culture today, it can be difficult even talking about morality. Often morality gets reduced to matters of personal preference. I don't like it, or simply utility. It doesn't work. This leaves us without a clear compass. The Church, however, provides a powerful and clear framework to judge whether an act is good or evil. Think of a moral act as a three-legged stool. For the stool to be solid and stable, all three legs must be strong. For any act to be considered truly and morally good, the stool must stand firm. Three legs. First is the object, what we're actually trying to do. This is the first and foremost fundamental stool of the leg. This is the first and most fundamental leg of the stool. It's what we are actually doing, the act itself. Some actions in and of themselves are always wrong. They're intrinsically evil. Things like rape, torture, perjury are examples of acts that are intrinsically evil. The second leg is your intention, why you're doing it. For an action to be morally good, your intention must be good. A bad intention can corrupt an act that is otherwise good. For example, giving alms is a good act, but if you do it solely for attention, to be seen and praised by others, that evil intention makes the entire act morally evil. Crucially, a good intention can never make a bad action good. This is the timeless moral principle that the end does not justify the means. The final leg of the stool is the circumstances, which includes the consequences of the act. These are the secondary elements that form the context of our actions, right? The who, what, when, where. Circumstances can increase or decrease the moral goodness of an evil act. For example, the amount of a theft can change its gravity. They can also affect your personal responsibility, such as when you act out of extreme fear. However, circumstances alone cannot change the moral quality of an act itself. They can never make an action that is intrinsically evil a good one. This three-part standard lifts us out of mere preferences, I don't like it, or utility, it doesn't work, and gives us the objective criteria for the good. But where do our intentions, our why, and our responses to circumstances come from? They spring from the inner world of our passions. It is a common misunderstanding of Christian morality that it requires the suppressing of our emotions, as though a good person has to act stoic or unfeeling. But this is not the Christian view. Our passions, our feelings, our emotions are not the opposite of morality. They are natural parts of the human person and serve as the bridge between what we experience through our senses and how our mind interprets those experiences. Passions such as love and fear, joy or anger are not good or evil in themselves. They are morally neutral. They become morally significant only when they engage our reason and our will, when we choose how to respond to them. Moral perfection isn't about suppressing or eliminating our passions, what can be called a white-knuckle Christianity, where the will battles constantly against our desires. Instead, the goal is to order our passions so they support the good. The virtuous person is not someone who feels nothing, but someone whose intellect, will, and desires are harmonized to choose the good. As the Catechism teaches, moral maturity is found when we are moved to the good not only by reason and will, but also by rightly ordered desire. The call to live a moral life is a call to live fully and freely as human beings. It means choosing the good with right intention and in the right circumstance. It also means shaping our inner life so our passions support, not hinder that good. The moral life unites heart and action, forming people who not only choose the good, but genuinely desire it. So a couple of questions to think about. God wants us to make good choices and use our feelings to do loving things. What is one kind thing you can do this week, like sharing, helping, or saying a prayer, that shows you are choosing what is good? The Catechism says our choices and emotions shape who we become. How do you see your feelings influencing your decisions about friends, school, or social media? What is the one way you can use grace and self-control to make a choice that reflects your faith?